Hi, and welcome to the College Guys Sports Podcast. Today is our NCAA football / NFL draft edition. I'm your host, Ryan Weiss, and today my co-hosts are Thomas Brown and Daniel Engelgau. How you doing, guys?
Good that we actually are able to connect and do this podcast. So
Yeah,
pretty good.
last time was hell
Last
trying
time.
to get this figured out.
Well, that's because I wasn't there, Ryan. Of course it's going to be hell. I'm what
Yeah.
keeps this group together. I'm the foundation of this podcast.
I am the Rock. You're my muse, my name. Well, since the NFL season is now over, it's time to get into the off season, and that will include the NFL draft. And the combine is right around the corner. Starts this Monday. And I don't know about you guys, it sounds nerdy. I love watching the combine. I like seeing the future players and how they do in the drills, and like NFL, if you have NFL arm strength, how your hands are, what hip movement, stuff like that. Not so much like the measurements, although that's important. But I kind of like watching drills. I kind of think of it as like a pseudo-Olympic type thing, who gets the longest high jumps or stuff like that. And yeah, I really enjoy watching the combine. I don't know, you guys big combine fans at all?
Yeah, like I get what you're saying. Me and Daniel used to do combines for high school, so we can understand and relate to that. It's interesting.
Thomas runs a six flat in the 40.
Do
One,
you really run a 6 flat in the 40?
my very first 40 ever my freshman year, yes.
You ran a 6 flat.
But then I got it down to a 5.4 after like a month.
It was
Which is so
hilarious.
Okay, that's a lot. I couldn't. That's like Rich Eisen. Rich Eisen runs a lot like a 6 flat, and he's a 45-year-old man.
So is Thomas,
I
mentally.
had I had really bad running form and I was chubby, so
Chubby.
yeah, one thing I want to stress is it is not NBA season, it is NFL draft season.
Damn straight. It is not NBA season until free agency is over. Sorry, not even free agency until the draft's over, which means it's like the second round of the NBA playoffs.
Yeah. Even with the playoffs start, it's not NBA season.
NFL is a year-round sport, except if you want to argue June, because you have a month for everything. I mean, January you got the playoffs, February Super Bowl and Combine, March you have free agency, April you have draft, May you have mini camp, June.
Well, you have draft this year in May.
Yeah, but
Isn't
it
it?
kind of no, actually, April 28th I believe is the draft.
Yeah.
But yeah, then June. There's not much really. You had the like little break period before stuff starts. July you have training camp.
That's when
Oh, yeah.
Dante Fowler tears his ACL, but go on.
No, Dante Fowler tore his ACL in mini
June.
camp in May,
His first
Yeah.
one.
like the day or two after the draft.
Yeah.
And then August you have preseason and training camp, and then obviously the rest of the year you have season. So it's really a year-round sport.
Yeah.
But this is the NFL draft is where champions are built. Most teams really don't. Championship teams, for the most part, do not build themselves with free agency, as evidenced by the Washington Redskins and Miami Dolphins in past years.
Built, not
Dolphins.
bought, Ryan. Built, not bought.
Thomas and the other people at home don't get that inside joke. I mean, it's not that much inside, but
I understand what he's saying.
No,
it's a 2K thing because
Ryan likes to buy his teams on 2K where I
yeah,
built them through the draft.
I signed one free agent and won the finals for like 3 out of 4 years, and then he signs like 4 max players in 2K, and all of a sudden he's built and not bought, and I am bought even though I signed one free agent. He signs like 4 a year.
That's because I have the sufficient funds to do it, Ryan.
Yeah,
Every team
on
buys their
accident.
team.
Technically, that is true.
Yeah. So I always hated when people said that.
Yeah. Anyways, let's get into the draft conversation. Today we're going to touch on the quarterback class this year. I don't think it's a great quarterback class. I don't think anyone really deserves to go first overall, but I do see some guys who could be potentially good NFL quarterbacks. Before we get deep into each player's skill set and stuff like that, let's just rank I'd say our top 8 quarterbacks, guys you think will probably get drafted. Like I'd say there's probably 8 guys who get drafted in this draft. And the rest are all like, oh, they might get picked late or something like that. But let's rank our 1 through 8 guys. Daniel, What are yours?
Well, my number one is Jared Goff, California, Paxton Lynch, Carson Wentz, Kristen Hackenberg, not Mettenberg, Ryan, to fix my correction on an earlier podcast. Number 5 is Brendan Dowry. Number 6 is Kevin Hogan. 7, Connor Cook, and 8, Cardell Jones.
Wow, yeah, Brandon Dowry at 5, huh? All right, Thomas, what's your top 8?
I'm gonna cheat here a little bit. The big three for the quarterbacks are Goff, Lynch, and Wentz. You can make an argument for any of them. Number one, I think I'm gonna have to go with Goff though. I think he's the most explosive. He's a really good pocket passer. 2, I have Lynch, and then 3, I have Wentz. And moving down the list, 4, I had a bit of difficulty. We talked about this a little bit on Wednesday, Ryan. I think I'm going to put Jacoby Brissett at 4. I think he's a bit underrated. He can run the ball. He's really versatile. 5, I've got Connor Cook. 6, I've got Christian Hackenberg. 7, I've got Dak Prescott. And then 8, Cardell Jones.
We'll get into the Hackenberg thing later. I really want to kill you for that. My top 8 quarterbacks, I'd go Jared Goff 1, Carson Wentz 2, Paxton Lynch 3, Hackenberg 4, Jacoby Brissett 5, Jared Cook 6, Cardell Jones 7, and then around out the list I go Dak Prescott. You guys have any objections to anyone's list? I mean, I know mine personally is Christian Hackenberg. Thomas has him as 6. I think he's smoking crack to have him that low, or to have Connor Cook above Christian Hackenberg, I think is ridiculous.
I think Jeff Driscoll should be in everyone's top 8, but that's besides the point.
Jeff Driscoll could be a 7th rounder.
He could be
we're
the
not
next
talking about Jeff Driscoll. We're talking about the guys who matter. Thomas, why do you have Connor Cook above Christian Hackenberg?
It's not more in favor of Connor Cook, but Hackenberg, I don't know, man. It's just Hackenberg. He's the type of guy where he would, on one play, he would breadbasket a 40-yard seam just perfectly, like it would land right into Hamilton's hands for Penn State. And then the next play, he's whiffing a slant or he's whiffing a screen pass or a flat route, and it has nothing to do with because with Penn State they talked a lot about Hackenberg didn't really have protection, especially in 2014. And some throws it has nothing to do with the protection, like he just whiffs it. Like I watched a lot of Penn State games this year. I needed to see more consistency from Hackenberg, and that's why I'm really just trying not to bite hard on him. I love it if he went to the Texans because Bill O'Brien's there.
Did you watch Connor Cook this year? Connor Cook has no arm strength, almost no touch. I mean, Cook, and I've also heard that he's not a great personality guy. Like some people are like, oh, he's odd, but he throws interceptions, doesn't make good decisions. He gets banged up a little bit. I mean, Hackenberg is tough as hell. That guy keeps getting hit and hit and hit, and he really only had one injury, which we were there for, the bowl game against Georgia. And it was a regular season game, and it wasn't his last game. He probably goes back in there. I don't think, like you said, if he go, I really, really hope that Bill O'Brien and the Texans draft him. I'd be so happy for him because you look at his freshman year, a team's on sanctions. They're just all the talent is true freshman quarterback, no experience. He throws for 3,000 yards and gets that team to 7-5, I believe, maybe 8-4. I can't remember. They also beat Wisconsin in Camp Randall as a 24-point underdog, and they had the Michigan game, which was insane. He was so good his freshman year. I do agree with you on the short passes. Accuracy is his biggest issue, especially on the short pass. It seems like every little wide receiver screen he throws is always at the legs of Geno Lewis, Chris Godwin, Deshaun Hamilton, all those guys. I do.
Oh, sorry, you were saying.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, that's one thing that I didn't touch upon that you're absolutely 100% correct on is he is really tough. That's one thing I didn't account for. He did take a lot of hits in the pocket.
He is such a leader, dude. He kept that draft class. Not draft class. He kept the recruiting class together in 2013. I mean, to go through all that stuff with everything they went through, he is a leader, man. That dude just works. It was just such a bad. Franklin and him just do not. They don't get along. They're not good fits together. If he's able to get back to Bill O'Brien, which I think they need to jump on him in the second round. 'Cause I don't think he'd fall to the third. But I, I really hope that he finds his way to Houston because Franklin likes to have more of a running quarterback with the athletic guy, which is what Trace McSorley is. We saw McSorley play pretty well in the bowl game,
Hmm.
but yeah, he throws a pretty good deep ball. He's probably got the best arm in this class. It's not a great arm, but it's probably the best arm. He can make all the NFL throws. Accuracy is his big issue. When he throws over the middle, he's usually either on point or it's high, which you cannot be high over the seam in college, let alone the NFL. You throw high over the middle in the NFL, it's intercepted every single time.
Yeah, that's signing a death sentence. Yeah, I can respect that. Connor Cook, like I said, it wasn't more in favor of him. It's just I'm really hesitant to buy it on Hackenberg and his numbers. But I get where you're coming from.
I mean, Cook's got good mechanics. I mean, I wouldn't say Cook is going to be a. Actually, I think Cook's going to be a bad quarterback. I would not draft Cook. No, but he's got. I mean, doesn't have the greatest pocket awareness. I think he holds on the ball a little too much. Uh,
He does need to work on his footwork too.
yeah, his footwork's part of the issue. But I would say, I mean, the ceiling I would say for Connor Cook is like a Chad Pennington type. I would even say I'd say Connor Cook is just Chad Pennington or maybe like a little less mobile John Kitna.
Cook showed consistent improvement throughout his collegiate career, though. He got better every year, and he operates with. He's got good confidence and efficiency, and he also has great anticipation for where the receiver is going to be and puts the ball there. He does love the short throw, and that will probably be his downfall. Is he can't throw it deep, and he'll be a dump off guy, just a down, little tight ends in the flat. He's got great accuracy for short throw.
Didn't you rank him
To the
seven?
Chiefs.
I do have him at 7. That's how bad this quarterback class is, personally, Ryan. It's
Yeah,
not that great. It's not that great of a class.
I
Yeah,
think
I
it's
know.
just an average class.
I'd say it's average class too. I wouldn't say it's bad, but I wouldn't say it's like 2013 bad, where you had Gino and EJ Manuel and all those
And
guys.
and I have him above Cardell Jones just because you can't trust Cardell Jones. I haven't seen enough work.
Oh, let's talk about Cardell a little. He's got 3 games, and people were talking about him being a third rounder if he would have come out after those 3 games last year. In hindsight, it looks like he probably should have came out because when he played this year, he was not good. He's got bad footwork, inaccurate. He's got a great arm, but he overthrows a lot of receivers. Sometimes question his personality sometimes with the way he treats the game. But I mean, some people are wired different. What do you guys think about Cardell?
He's immature.
In my opinion, Cardell, he is living off of the success of the 3 great games he had last year. Looking at his numbers, 110 for 176, only 1,400 yards, 8 touchdowns and 5 interceptions. Other than the fact that he's 6'5" and 250 and that he had 3 amazing games the season before, and then he's a national championship winner. I mean, what did he do in 2015? He lost his job. I really think if he didn't have that national championship under his belt, he wouldn't even be in this conversation.
Oh, no, he would absolutely not. But he's got all the tools. I mean, you have some guys who don't play at all and end up still getting drafted, like Matt Castle didn't play 1 snap at USC. He got drafted in the 7th round. But yeah, just because of the tools he possesses, I have him ranked at like 7. I have him over Prescott just because he has more of the tools. I don't think he'll ever be a start. I mean, he may get a shot. Like, I don't know, it's week 10, your season's not going great, your quarterback situation's crap. But like, let's throw Cardell in there, see if we have anything. But I would not hitch my wagon to Cardell. I didn't think, going into the year, I thought it should have been JT Barrett the starter, and then, like in the Virginia Tech game, when he made a couple good plays, everyone's freaking out, like, oh my God, Cardell, #1 pick in the draft. I'm like, are you guys watching the same thing I'm watching?
He's a boomer bust guy, Ryan. That's simply how it's put. I mean, I'm going most likely a bust. I don't see him translating to NFL success. I mean, I question his off the field characteristics. He is a little bit immature, and 3 games isn't enough to judge someone on their whole body of work. So he's got great size, and he can throw it deep, but that's pretty much it. There's not enough out there to truly judge how good he can be or isn't.
Like I understood the hype coming into this year because for the Wisconsin, Alabama, and Oregon games the previous year, I mean, you couldn't really argue with his numbers, and and like you said, Ryan, he had great tools. But the fact is he just didn't produce this year.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure all of us. I'm the biggest Cardell non-supporter here, but I mean, a team will take a chance on him. I'm pretty sure I'm the biggest Ohio State hater out of all of us.
I don't know. We don't like Urban Meyer that much.
Yeah, but I have to deal with that freaking team every year.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, so let's talk about. I guess let's start at the top of the list. What we all have is Jared Goff, pretty much our consensus number one. I think Goff will be a pretty good quarterback. He's got good touch. I watched a decent amount of Cal this year. I'll say. I mean, obviously the biggest game I watched was the Utah game, where he made a couple of great throws, and he showed some great touch in that game. He's got good accuracy, nice touch. He's got good timing on those quick routes, the 3-step slant, crossing routes, stuff like that. He's got good mechanics of footwork. I like he's got like that fire in him, which I like because it was a USC game and he threw an interception where it was an out route or comeback to Kenny Lawler. I can't remember which one. And Lawler kind of gave up on the route. He kind of stopped and then USC picked it off. Came over picked it off. And then on the sideline, Goff was just laying into Lawler, which I like to show that it shows that he's a leader and he doesn't want to take people giving up on the play or take crap like that. But again, even though that interception wasn't his fault, he does have the interceptions worry me a little. I think he makes some bad decisions. He'll lock in on a receiver too much, and sometimes he won't make his reads all the time. And like, cause Thomas, what was it, 5 or 6 turnovers the Cal had in the Utah game? 5 interceptions and a fumble, I believe, or 2 fumbles. It was a lot of turnovers. But yeah, I mean, his arm strength isn't the greatest. It's okay in the NFL, but I'd say it's more of a weakness than it is a strength of his.
For Jared Goff, yes, he has the most interceptions thrown in this class. One thing I will say is that number is proportionate with the rest of his numbers. He has the most pass attempts with 529. He's got the most touchdowns thrown. He's thrown for the most yards. Kind of to touch on what you said, Ryan, I am really worried that Jared Goff is a little too trusting in his ability to throw. There were times, like we said in the Utah game, he threw 5 interceptions. USC, he threw 2 interceptions. There was times in both of those games where he was really just forcing the ball, and he was saying, okay, I'm throwing it here, and it has to go through this tight window. Like, I really want to see it. I wanted to see him go through his reads, his progressions more on those plays. That's the only thing I'm really worried about. He's pretty solid size for a quarterback. He's 6'4". I could definitely see him going to San Fran, but that's another story.
Yeah, I think he needs to put on a little more weight though. He's got the frame for it, but he needs to put on more weight.
Yeah, he's only 215 pounds.
He's a good pocket passer, and he'll be perfect for a West Coast offense. He fits the scheme. Yeah, the interceptions are a problem, but you put him in the right system, and I think he'll be a pretty good quarterback.
Yeah, I want to see how he does in the combine, taking snaps from under center because he didn't really do much of that in the Sonny Dykes offense. I mean, it's kind of a spread, but it's not a true spread. But I think Goff will be good quarterback. I see him as like a Matt Ryan type in the NFL, with success-wise and player-wise. All right, my number 2 quarterback. I know you guys, some of them don't have him. I have Carson Wentz as my number 2 quarterback. Okay. All right, yeah, what I like about Wentz is that he has probably one of the better arms in the class. He makes a lot of reads. Like he'll go through progressions, which is a problem for a lot of college quarterbacks. He's a smart player. He's got pretty good mechanics, but I think he might have. I wouldn't say he's got the highest upside in the class, but I think he can definitely challenge for that number one pick in the draft with Goff. I would. There was a point a couple weeks ago. I think I had Wentz ranked over Goff. I've kind of come back down on that a little. Cause like sometimes, while I said he does make reads, he's got to use his eyes better. Sometimes he'll stare down on a receiver, which you can't do because there's so many safeties in the NFL who just read eyes and just go pick the ball up and they live on that. Ed Reed, Hall of Famer because of that. Doesn't have the best accuracy. Not. Yeah, he's not great at sensing the pressure, which again, maybe it's because I don't know. We'll have to see because he played North Dakota State, not the best competition when you're not playing in the SEC or the Big Ten or Pac-12 something like that. He had a decent Senior Bowl, so I don't think the ramp up of competition will really hurt him that much, but it could be a deterrent for some of the teams who are thinking about picking him. I kind of see him as he's got good size. I don't like to make comparisons to guys who are just in the league, but I mean, I see him kind of as a Blake Bortles, and I know a lot of people, other people see him as a Blake Bortles type.
Yeah, that's actually exactly what I was gonna say. That was my quarterback comparison too, was to Blake Bortles. Carson Wentz, you could make the argument he's the number one quarterback in the draft. I really wanted to put him as my number one, but there was two key things that really worried about him, like that worried me about him. One is that after 6 starts, he got hurt, broke his wrist, came back to play in the national championship. Well, for FCS. Yeah,
You mean he beat Alabama?
No, that like any type of injury, that's always concerning. Obviously, since he's out, he's also has less film to show. The second thing is that it's again, like we said, playing in FCS. I know football is football, and it's the same, but how is he going to play with the big boys?
Are you telling me that me freaking owning people in the backyard is not the same as the NFL? Thomas, don't poo-poo my dream.
Ryan could enter the draft next year. He is eligible.
I can draft next year.
Go
I
to the
went
combine.
undrafted in the NBA draft last year, which was a disgrace because you're like 6'4" guy, 8 foot standing reach, good, decent, streaky shooter, can attack the rim,
High
and
basketball.
okay dribbler, can jump pretty high, at least can dunk the ball, hustles his ass off, good defender. Does that not scream second round pick? And I don't get drafted.
I say second round.
That's
I'm-
obviously a second round pick.
I'm still
Where
waiting.
the hell was that?
I'm still waiting for my soccer academy invite. I'm better than Messi. I can tell you that. My footwork on
I
point.
don't. Where my call was from Ryan McDonough last draft in the second round, I don't know. The Suns need some talent right now. Hit me up on a 10-day contract, Ryan. I got you. Give me those 10-day contracts and we'll send that year in. That'll be that max player you guys need, and it'll bring back success to the desert. I don't know why I wasn't drafted
But
last year.
he'll never win a championship though. He'll always get so close, but never win one.
Just like Vegeta. Always second or third best.
One thing I will say about Carson Wentz is that I definitely, unlike most of the people on this list, I could definitely see him starting NFL games. So I will say that in his defense. But yeah, I have nothing else on Wentz. What about you, Daniel?
I like Wentz. Honestly, I think Wentz is probably my favorite quarterback in this draft class. You were right. I'd have him going at number one, but 6 games got hurt, plus the competition. But if you put him in a well-groomed system, he has a great personality, I hear. He'll work well with any coach. And if you put him in the right system, I see him as an all-pro quarterback in the near future.
What do you have Wentz ranked? You have him as 2, right? Or 3?
I have Lynch too.
All right. Speaking of Lynch, I am not a huge Lynch fan. I have him ranked over Hackenberg. I can see him. Some people say they see him as a Joe Flacco or a Ben Roethlisberger type. I actually have him as a Derek Anderson type. Not a huge fan on Lynch. He's got good size. He's 6'7". He's athletic. He's got a pretty nice arm. Playmaker, senses pressure pretty well. but I mean his footwork is kind of testy. I mean, you go back and look, even all those highlights, uh, all those deep passes he throws for all those touchdowns, his footwork's so bad. He's just arming them all. He's all thrown off his back foot, and you know the DBs in the American Athletic Conference who are playing for Tulane and UCF and UConn don't have the makeup speed that someone like Patrick Peterson has. He's going to have to work on his footwork immensely. That's my biggest problem with him.
Upper body all the way. You don't need footwork. Only upper body. You don't need legs. Don't listen to him.
We'll see about that. I'll coach Wentz for like 2 years, and you coach Wentz for like 2 years, and we'll see how he does each of those seasons.
All upper body. Nothing but bench press. Best activity in the combine. That's all we need is strength feats. You
Yeah,
don't need any athletic events.
because your chest, you throw with your chest.
You do. The way I do it.
Just like you lift with your back, throw with your chest.
Duh, you lift with your lower back and your groin. That's
And
it.
Lift with your lower back in a twisting, jerking motion.
To why I'm at where I am right now.
I also think he holds the ball too long. Doesn't really sense pressure too well. I mean, he does sense pressure well. I won't say that. Yeah, he senses pressure well, but he holds the ball too long. It's one of those like I can still make this a good play. Want to kind of like I don't want a god complex kind of somewhat. But you also got the play cut from the sideline in Memphis, which not that big of a deal, but I don't really like it. I don't like when the team lines up in a formation and then they just stand and look over to the sideline like, what are we doing? I don't really like that. I like guys when they like call plays in a huddle or like at least make calls at the line. Yeah, I don't know. I could see Lynch being successful in the NFL, but I kind of see him more as a Derek Anderson.
Yeah, Lynch. My biggest complaint, it kind of ties in with what you said about footwork. I just wish he was more mobile. I watched some of his tape, escaping from pressure. He just does not have that much speed. He's got great accuracy. If you watch that,
Well, I disagree on that. I think he's athletic enough. I think he's more athletic.
For his size, he's very
yeah,
I
athletic.
think he's more athletic than Hackenberg and people like that.
if you watch that Ole Miss game, he just picked apart pretty good Ole Miss defense. So, yeah, again, you like Wentz, you can make an argument that he should be the number one.
Oh yeah, that Ole Miss game is his best game by far. He made some really good throws and touch on that. But then you look at the Auburn game, it's like this dude's gonna go in the first round. Like
Yeah, that was a little shocking. I can't believe they lost that game that bad. It was like 31-10. I thought it was going to be the opposite. I thought Memphis was going to just tear Auburn apart. But
Daniel, you have Lunch as your number 2 quarterback, right?
Yeah. I like his size. I mean, yeah. All kidding aside, his footwork is it's awful. If you work on his footwork, I think he'd be a very good quarterback. He's extremely talented. He makes great plays. He is a playmaker, and to go back to his athleticism, for his size, he's extremely athletic. For a 6'7" guy, he can move. I mean, you need to really work on his fundamentals to be able to keep up with the next level type of play, because the NFL is no joke. If you work on his fundamentals, I think he'd be a pretty good quarterback.
Some people say like Lynch. I've seen Osweiler comparisons, but like I said, I don't like comparing guys to guys who are still in the league or who just entered the league. So I'd say he's more of a Derek Anderson type. We did enough on Hackenberg. We'll just touch on him a little. I think he's got the best value in this draft. For where he's going to get picked, I think you put him in a pro-style offense, he's going to be a Pro Bowler, maybe an All-Pro, maybe even top 5 guy in this league. I just think that I'd much rather take Hackenberg in the second round than I would take Lynch in the top 15 picks. We talked about him a little more. Any other points you guys want to bring up with Hackenberg real quick?
To the Texans.
To the Texans.
Yeah, you need to go to the Texans.
No, I don't want him to go to the Texans. No, I don't need more competition.
Because then everyone in that division would have a quarterback.
Yeah. No, we don't want that. Go to like the Cowboys.
No. Oh my God, I don't want to hate a guy I used to love.
Yeah.
Go to the Eagles. Go to the Eagles, and then you can still hate him.
I can still hate him.
No, go to the Cowboys. Tear up the Eagles twice a year. Ryan will love that.
We got Chase Daniel. I'm telling you, they're gonna draft. Cowboys gonna draft Connor Cook. I'm gonna love it.
No, you guys are gonna draft Cardell Jones. That's what I'm saying.
I was for the longest time. I think I still have like the Broncos taking Cardell in like the fourth round.
No, I think you're gonna draft Connor Cook, Ryan.
No, we have Chase Daniel. We got that Chase Daniel, son.
You're getting
Can you?
Nick Foles back.
Can you
It's all okay.
We're gonna have four quarterbacks. We're gonna bring back Bradford for like 5 years, 20 million, right, 20 million a year. We're gonna have Chase Daniel. We're gonna have Mark Sanchez, and we're
And
gonna
Tim
have.
Tebow. Bring it back, Tim Tebow.
No, I mean, yeah, the Eagles situation is weird right now. I'd probably put my money on Chase Daniel being the Eagles starter in Week 1 next year.
Oh, that's gonna be beautiful.
And maybe we get Deshaun Watson in next year. But Deshaun Watson is not in this class. We're talking about the 2016 NFL draft class in the quarterbacks.
Jeff
Uh,
Briscoe going to the Eagles.
let's talk about the guy who I think is the most intriguing in this draft class. Is former Florida quarterback and and now former NC State quarterback Jacoby Brissett. I've seen a lot of stuff. A lot of guys are kind of high on him. I think he's very intriguing. I think he's kind of a mystery. He's athletic. He's got some good size. He's got some arm. He's got pretty good arm strength. He knows how to anticipate throws, 3 steps, that type of throw. Doesn't turn the ball much over, but at the same time, there's a reason he doesn't turn the ball over, and he doesn't take any chances deep. I don't want to say he's Alex Smith, but he does like to check the ball down a lot, and instead of, when it's when it's 3rd and 13 and you need the first down, sometimes you have to throw that 20-yard corner route with 2 guys there instead of taking the 3-yard check down when there's no defender around the guy. I think he's also got some accuracy problems. He's not good under pressure, and you say all these things, and that kind of brings me back to one guy who I used to love, but as the days go by, the more he talks, I grow to hate him more and dislike him.
Jonathan McNabb.
Exactly. You think about all those attributes, because when he's inaccurate, he's low, just like McNabb. McNabb leads the NFL all-time history in worm burners. How many times he freaking gunned the ball at a guy's feet. He's athletic. I don't think he's as athletic as McNabb was. McNabb ran a lot in his first couple of years without a receiver, and he was good at it. Brissett doesn't run as much. But I just look at all those attributes, and I'm like, this dude could be Donovan McNabb, which is far from that, very far from that thing. McNabb is a borderline Hall of Famer. He won't get in, but he's still in the conversation somewhat.
Yeah, Brissett, he's intriguing to me too. I actually have him as my number 4. Like you said, he's very safe. I was looking for someone currently in the league to compare him to. I was gonna say Russell Wilson, but he's a lot bigger than Russell Wilson, so I really feel like I couldn't say that. I think Jacoby Brissett, he could do some work. If he in the right offense, in a kind of a dual threat West Coast type of offense, I think he could produce. What do you think, Daniel?
Well, I don't even have him in this list, the top 8.
Oh, okay. Well, that's fair enough.
Yeah, no, I don't trust him. He's a backup quarterback at best. I see him not really doing much. And this is my opinion, of course, but I don't have him in my list.
Yeah. Me and Thomas had the same many guys on our list. Let's talk about some of the guys who are on your list that we don't have.
The guy from Stanford.
Kevin Hogan. I am not a Hogan fan. He's got that pro-style offense, which could be good in the NFL for him, but he's never shown me really anything that has been like, yeah, this dude. I really didn't even trust him on the college level in the Pac-12, let alone the NFL and like the NFC West or whatever.
I mean, he's very inconsistent, but he does have the benefit of playing in the pro-style offense, like you said. So I have him at my number 6. I think I skipped my number 5.
Yeah, you have a Western Kentucky guy. I can't. Oh,
yeah, Brandon.
Say again.
Brandon Dowie.
Yeah. I almost put him in my top 8. I definitely can see him getting drafted. I don't think. I mean, he's got some tools and stuff. I haven't done that much work on him, so I can't really say I like him or love him. But I can see him getting drafted. And do you have Prescott on your list?
No.
No? Okay. I know me and Thomas had Dak Prescott on our list. Uh, People all like last year when he was saying he was Tim Tebow who could throw. I don't really think he can still throw that much. I mean, obviously better throwing the ball than Tebow. But I
With
mean,
Tebow's greatness. Go on.
somehow Tebow always makes it into one of our podcasts. I need to stop that.
Not
I
my
give
fault
you-
this time.
I
God,
didn't give you a
feel like
Tebow.
Sports Center. Anyways, yeah,
Did you see what he
Prescott.
did for the kids with the autism, Ryan?
No,
To-
we're not. We're going off of Tebow.
Yeah,
Keep going.
Prescott's really athletic. I mean, some could argue that his year this year was better than his year last year when some people thought he was going to win the Heisman because he had less help around him. I'm not a huge Prescott fan, never have been. I doubt I ever will be. But his athleticism really helps him out. I think he can throw the ball a little. Uh, just he needs to work on his mechanics, stuff like that. I don't see him ever really getting a chance to start in the NFL. But I could possibly see him as like maybe a Vince Young type guy, not like Vince Young rookie. Maybe he shows flashes of like what Vince Young did his rookie year, but mostly like backup Vince Young is near his years in Philadelphia and is nearing his tenure in Tennessee.
That dream team year, Ryan.
Yeah, shut up. I'd rather talk about Tebow. So you Dak Prescott.
Okay. Well, part of the reason why I think people make comparisons between Prescott and Tebow, and I do as well. I also make comparisons to him as Robert Griffin III and Johnny Manziel. It's because he's a dual threat quarterback who puts up insane college numbers, but for whatever reason, I just don't think it's going to translate to the NFL that well. I've got him at my number 7 quarterback. He reminds me a lot of Geno Smith. He's same height, around the same weight. Yeah, I could see him. Here's the thing. It really depends on what team he gets drafted to. Like, if he got drafted to, like, the Browns, I can see him maybe weaseling in and starting a few games. Other than that, I don't really see him starting. Maybe be like a third-string quarterback somewhere or a practice squad guy. Yeah, it's just there's nothing that's great. Like, yeah, his throwing is okay, but that's just it. It's okay. His speed is good, but there's nothing that really just wows me from Dak Prescott,
I
at
see
least on
him.
the NFL level.
I see him dominating the CFL. I don't see him as an NFL caliber quarterback, to be honest. This honestly, yeah, he's like, as you say, RG3, Tim Tebow, Johnny Manziel, Geno Smith. They aren't great NFL quarterbacks. They get shots, but their athleticism is. They aren't very good, talented quarterbacks, and he's not geared to be a franchise quarterback or a starting quarterback. That's why I don't have him on my list.
Yeah, I mean, I I don't disagree with you not having him on the list. It's nothing really that big for me, but I don't think he's gonna be that well either. Some guys that I don't have on my list that I think possibly get drafted, and I can see like Brandon Allen maybe getting drafted, and I can see Brandon Allen somewhat doing well in the NFL with that pro style offense he ran at Arkansas. Uh, Jeff Driscoll maybe outside shot of making a roster and being a career backup. I mean, another guy who just doesn't really have the arm strength to be in the NFL is Cody Kessler. I mean, they said that a lot of people, but Kessler makes some bad decisions and not arm strength. They just don't. Maybe he makes a roster. He's probably just Matt Barkley again, what Matt Barkley was. But yeah,
Without all the hype.
yeah. Any guys you had on your list that kind of intrigue you a little, that you didn't have on your list?
Um, the only one that really intrigues me are Kessler and Driscoll. And Kessler, I just want to see if he even makes it. What I will say about Kessler is I'm a pretty big USC hater, but I think he was pretty underrated. Um, Jeff Driscoll, he's got great size, obviously. Former Florida quarterback. I watch him a lot. It's not even,
Who do you hate more,
yeah.
Florida Driscoll or Kessler USC?
Yeah. It's the thing. It's like I'm not even that interested to see how they do in the NFL. I'm just interested to see if they make it, and that's the only thing that intrigues me.
Well, as a Florida fan, I really didn't enjoy watching Jeff Driscoll, but I do believe you put Driscoll in the right. He will get drafted. I mean, 7th round, but I'm pretty sure no one thought Tom Brady was going to be drafted all those years ago either. I'm not saying Jeff Driscoll's the next Tom Brady,
I'm just
but
saying he's the next
but,
pick.
but I'm just saying he's the next Joe Montana.
Are you saying Jeff Driscoll is gonna win 4 Super Bowls?
I'm just saying Jeff Driscoll will win a Super Bowl, and you all watch this podcast in 10 to 15 years, be like, that Daniel kid, give him a GM contract. He knows what he's looking at.
I
He
think
could.
what we're all saying is Florida Muschamp quarterbacks who transferred have all been in the NFL or will make it to the NFL. Tyler Murphy is currently a wide receiver on the Browns practice squad. Wow.
I'm saying Driscoll goes to the Patriots, backs up Tom Brady till he retires. Boom, takes right over, championship
Tom Brady gets
winning.
injured in week 2.
Great.
Yeah.
There's
Wentz.
still a guy named Jimmy Garoppolo.
Ah, backup Brady quarterbacks. Brian Hoyer, Ryan Mallett.
All right. Well, just real quick, right before we go, I figure I'd tell you what round I have each of these guys, like what I personally grade them, not what I think they'll go. Like a mock and what I had the grade, I consider two different things. Goff and Wentz, I both have as first round quarterbacks. I gave them first round grades. Lynch and Hackenberg, I gave them second round grades. Brissett and Cook, I both gave that 4th to 5th round range. Jones, I gave him a 5th round grade, and then Dak Prescott, I gave him a 6th to 7th round grade. Nah, it's 7th. I gave him a 6th round grade. Thomas, I know you said 4 teams you had really thought needed to pick a quarterback.
Oh yeah, those teams. Browns. I'll be brief with each of them. Browns for obvious reasons. No matter what guy they've had in there, whether it's Manziel or Josh McCown or Austin Davis, haven't produced. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but Manziel's scheduled to leave in March from Cleveland.
I mean, he's not. I mean, they're gonna cut him.
Yeah. 49ers. Cap not producing, and then Blaine Gabbert's your backup.
Uh-oh, might be a fight. There might be a fight across the screen. Daniel might jump through his
Whoa,
computer.
whoa, what happened? My computer froze out. Who said what?
Thomas talking crap about your boy Blaine Gabbert.
Thomas Peyton Manning is a rapist, and he's on HGH.
Oh my
He
God.
sexually assaulted that athletic trainer, and then he covered it up, and then he did drugs.
That's another podcast, Daniel.
I don't
moving
need
on.
to. I don't need to hear about your rapist quarterback.
I'm moving on.
Blake Bortles is the future, and Blaine Gabbert is a savior.
Broncos is my third team. Peyton's gonna be gone, and then
Because he's a rapist.
Oh, look, we're back on the Peyton thing. Even though Thomas said let's move on.
Peyton's gonna be gone, and then Brock Osweiler up and down. They only have 2 quarterbacks anyway, so even if Brock Osweiler was doing really well, did really well in the starts, they need to draft the quarterback anyway. And then the Texans, again, kind of like the Browns, a lot of inconsistency, whether it's been Hoyer, or Ryan Mallett, or T.J. Yates, or Brandon Whedon.
TJ Yates. Yater's going to Yate. I believe they give him a shot. He just tore his ACL. TJ Yates, Super Bowl winning quarterback.
Any other teams you had in mind, Ryan, or you'd like to add to that?
I mean, no, we'll get into that a little later on future podcast. All right, Daniel, any final thoughts on quarterbacks or team needs?
Probably the same teams Thomas suggested. The Browns and the Texans are the most in need of quarterbacks, depending on their Stanford situation. As much as Ryan doesn't like to hear that, and this QB draft class isn't that good. The Redskins, they can't re-sign Kirk Cousins. I throw them in there.
Sign Kirk Cousins. Yeah. This is classic, like, yeah, it happens every contract negotiation.
I'd go probably Cowboys as well because Tony Romo's 36 years old and he hasn't been healthy. Possibly you look at it, the Chargers, the Rams, both possible QB situations there, especially with Phillip Rivers getting up there in age. The Rams definitely need a quarterback. They have a lot of young talent. They just need a quarterback. And I don't think this is the draft class to do it in.
All right, that will about do it for our College Guy Sports Podcast, NFL Draft Edition. If you liked the show, if you didn't like the show, comment down below. Let us know what we can do to improve in the future. Follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook, subscribe on YouTube. I'm your host, Ryan Weiss, for your co-host, Thomas Brown, Daniel Engelgau. Thank you for listening, and we'll catch you next time here on the College Guys Sports Podcast.
Make sure all
Notice
your
me, senpai!